We are building a small cabin on our property that will serve as a meeting space for our business and a small guest house for our family. This will be a single-story structure at 480 square feet. The design is simple but includes an open living space, a small kitchen, full bath, a sleeping loft, and a screened porch. Our video series will include every step of the building process to document in detail how to build the structure. Our goal is to have a more informative and educational series for the do-it-yourselfers that want to learn to build.
All right, so what we're going to do is lay out for the foundation, and the Victory home is built on all piers. And these 9 piers are the main structure. These 3 are for the porch. They'll have a beam that goes across these 3 sets. So a beam here, 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 that the house will sit on. What we're setting up today are batter boards, and the goal here is to set them up in each corner. We're going to have 2 in each corner to be able to pull lines from across where these piers will be. We'll set these batter boards all at the same height so they're level, so our string lines are level, so we can measure down to the top of the pier so the top of our piers are level. We could set these up in the corner here, just with 3 posts, making a little L shape in the corner. We're holding them back and separating them because we have a lot of work to do around here. We'll be standing around each one of these with a 2-person auger, or even potentially the tractor and backhoe, so we need room around there.
How high off the ground?
The top of our piers might be about 12 inches out of the ground.
Oh, okay.
We can be anywhere, I'd say around 18 inches up.
How do you know it's square? Like, this string could be over here, and where the intersect is not where.
What we're going to do is set up a laser. So that laser shoots a beam this way, this way. So we can use the laser to mark these square to each other. We are going to use another method when we do it a second time, and that's measuring like a 3, 4, 5 triangle, any increment thereof on the strings. That's the most common way, and then you swing this around till you have a right angle here. We're also going to show 2 methods for how to level it. Our laser will set our level points, but we're going to use a water level, which is an alternate method for easily marking these heights or the elevations for each of these batter boards. The water levels...
More affordable.
Okay.
More affordable.
Just a little close-up view. Our piers are going to stick out of the ground about 12 inches the way we're doing this. We're trying to get this off the ground so we have a decent amount of space underneath our floor. On top of this will be a post or a beam, and then our floor framing. So we're keeping about 24 inches potentially up off the ground. I think we should decide that later.
Enough to belly crawl underneath it.
Yeah. The way we're building this is I'm coming up with an idea that we don't actually need to get under there. We're going to build the floor system in a way that we can not have to do that. So that's the goal. Let's get to it.
Cool.
We last time laid out our foundation roughly square. We used the method I used before. We just measured across this way, we measured across that way, and then we measured the diagonal, and we put these stakes in. So these are all, I'm going to say, within 6 inches of where our the house is going to sit. Mark these using our laser or the water level, and then once we have a mark at each one of these, we'll know where to screw this on, and at the end, all these will be level. Cool. Got it?
Got it.
Got it. Good.
Mostly.
Right. Mostly.
Okay.
Oh, no.
It is very heavy.
I'm not fit for this, Dad.
Hold it for her, Sarah. Hold it, she's not going to hurt you.
Don't hurt me.
Go ahead.
I might.
No, you're not.
I might.
Just tap
No,
it.
you're not.
Oh my god.
Look at that.
Wait, pause.
It's amazing
Remember,
when it's still that you
okay,
can hit it. right?
I was gonna say, just let's
You're not
twist
gonna
it.
hurt her.
Okay, you're good. Now you can.
There you go.
All right. Sure. This time. No muscle for this.
Means you're gonna get muscle.
No, it's not straight.
Okay, if one of you holds it, it's so much easier to keep it straight.
It doesn't matter if it's straight.
It's the
twisty. It'll twist. You're
All right,
good.
good. I thought it was
If
a good
someone
Yeah.
holds it,
Yeah.
you're not gonna miss. What makes you miss is if it keeps shifting
Well, it's-
position.
Yeah.
They don't have to be straight, but it'd be better if they
should be.
are. But
So
I would
we'll
rather
get better.
focus on
The
getting the
last
rest
one's
done.
going to be really good.
Yeah. Put your foot on it. If you're fatigued, swap out. Hey, you're just loosening everything you did. You have to start over. No. Yeah, guys,
Yeah.
that's a little wonky.
I feel like it's okay.
You can't just push it over. You gotta redo it. That's too wonky.
Getting it out. Here, can you mallet it? Can she mallet it in with this?
I
Does that
wouldn't.
matter?
I wouldn't.
I think we could give it a
I think you could start over there. Sorry.
That looks so much better.
Some small.
Is that better? Now it's leaning the other way.
Alright, I got the laser set up here. It's self-leveling laser, and it shoots right now just a horizontal beam, 360 degrees around. And
Around
you,
that?
you can't see it. Yeah, you see?
But it's a 360 around though.
Yes.
Yeah,
In
it
that
spins.
plane, it shoots other beams, but right now we're just shooting this horizontal plane.
Do we need this?
No, got it handy dandy detector here. You can't see it because it's too bright outside, but Mom, will you
I'm a
show
professional.
you? Yeah.
Except it's really low.
Okay, so let's see where we're at. Okay. Yeah. Okay, so we're about 16 inches.
Oh, okay.
Piers are going to be about 12. This gives us a few inches above the piers, so we can drop down the
Right
center
there.
point.
Should I mark it with my pencil
That
I
is-
have conveniently in my pouch?
Yeah, you are good.
I'm on it.
There we go. Like
'Cause
that? I'm
no.
saying.
Top of the board, not top of the mark.
Okay.
That way every
Right,
string, no matter how thick the board is, every string is. So I would, if you have a hard time, start that screw with the board on the ground.
I don't.
Okay,
It's
good.
good. It's soft.
You're good. Not your hand behind it. You want the screw to run through under
I
your
know, I
hand.
know.
Okay. An alternative to using a laser level like we're using, which is not cheap, and if you don't have the use for it on multiple projects or you're not in the business, it may not be something worth spending the money on. So an alternative for finding level lines on a site like this, you can do a water level. This is a version that has an electronic sensor, so one person can use it easily, and there's a sensor in here that will sense the water level line and give out an audible signal for when you are at the right mark. Very accurate and easy way to mark level across the distance without investing in a laser level. And you can use a modified version of this where you can buy an attachment or make an attachment where it's clear tube added to the end of a garden hose and on both ends, so you can see through the tube and use it the same way without the sensor. You just might need two people to read both ends of it. Okay, so you can see here when it settles out, you have to open up both ends so air can get in both ends so the water can move freely. And once you've done that, you can see the water will settle out at the same height. As we bring this one up, the other one will come up. So they come up together.
That's pretty cool.
They will come up together until we get to where we set the benchmark at, and it will make a really loud beep when you are there. So there we go.
Next one. Oh.
So for some reason,
We're
they don't believe me that a water level is accurate. So
well, you're standing right in front of the level.
we're checking that with the laser, and
We're
I can see, you can see
actually-
the line, it's right on.
Yeah.
So go ahead and
Cool.
just, that one's right on, I can see the green line.
That's right on.
That one's an 1/8 inch low. That one's right on. So that was just getting impatient and marking it before it settled down. So we're good. Proof that water finds its own level. Yeah. Okay, so what we're going to do next is set our first line here. We're going to use our stakes that are in the ground as our guide. We're going to set a string up from this end to that end, and we're going to get it lined up to this long end back to the idea that where we want this to face. So this is going to go perpendicular to the front, and the front is aligned with the view here. That's how we're laying this out. You know, it's all based upon our view. We have no other conditions here that are dictating how we want to set this. There's no property line setbacks or other utilities or anything else that matter. So that's our guide, is that view down there. So we'll put the string from end to end, eyeball it. Once we're good, we're going to put a screw in the top there, a screw in the top there, put that string in tight, and then we're going to go to the next step of squaring off that to put this string in. At that point, we would typically just measure off that string, go to that end, run it parallel, measure off this string to that end, put it in parallel. But what we're going to do is use one method here to set this corner square using the laser, and the other strings we're going to put in using a tape measure, doing a 3-4-5 triangle, or measuring a diagonal a way that in case you don't have a laser, that's going to give you your 90-degree angles. So we're going to go do this 2 ways.
Got it?
Got it. Got it?
Good.
Good. You ready?
No. You were bugging me. And I said, wait. Let's go.
Nice.
I'm ready. Let me get a few more.
Okay, so I would just put the string down.
So fancy.
Both of you take one end. Good.
I like that. That's really handy. Okay, I'm good.
So you go.
I'd shift the whole thing like a good 15 degrees this way. Just kidding. Just kidding. I'm just kidding. Calm down. It looks good. I don't know.
All right, so mark that, Chloe.
So if I wanted to shift the angle, I could easily just do that.
Yes.
Will you... Oh, this feels like so permanent.
It is. Yeah, we're building a permanent structure.
Ugh. So much easier to do for other people.
I liked where it was.
You did?
Yeah.
Well, then we'll do that. That's fine.
Okay.
I'm second guessing myself.
Yeah. No. We're going backwards.
And the string.
And the string. There you go. Leave it sticking out. Leave it sticking out. There you go. Okay. Okay, so because we're going to take this up and down a lot, so we're going to set our points. We're going to want to move it out of our way, dig our holes, put the string line back up, put our sonotubes, take it off, pour the concrete, put it back up, set our pins. So this goes up and down a lot. So that the idea here is that these are in spaced away, so we can always come back and reference these until our piers are on and we've marked the top of the piers. We use these to mark the top of the piers because where these lines intersect each other is going to be center of pier and where we put our anchor bolt. The easiest way to put these on is in a way that's easy to take on and off, not tying a knot. So a lot of times, sometimes what I'll do is just put 2 screws in, wrap it around once, wrap it around another, and you just get enough tension in the rope that it doesn't come off here. So you just loop it around, take it around your finger a couple times to twist it, get it on the screw, pull this in tight, and there you go. So that is going to hold us in position for now, and it shouldn't come loose. So we don't need to cut it. We can just bring this over here and come across. If we cut it, that's fine. It's easier for us to take off. I'm not too worried about it. Right now, I want to do is get everything marked, and then we might take this down and then redo our strings. But all our batter boards will be marked, so we can come back later and put them back on.
So where's the precision coming from?
So right now, there's no precision. This is our first line. This is where we want the alignment to
No,
be.
I know, but after, how do you get it precise?
Well, that's what we're going to do next. So the precision is getting a 90-degree angle across here. So this one's going to come across at a 90-degree
And
angle
measuring
to
it
this.
But what
per
if
our
this is at an
plans.
angle?
Well, no matter what this is, doesn't matter. We're going 90 degrees to it. So the laser, which you haven't seen how the laser works, but the laser shoots 5 beams.
It's pretty swag.
So the laser shoots, if you turn on all the beams, I think we just ran out of battery.
Oh no.
We did. Unbelievable.
Oh, at least we know now before we actually do it.
Okay, so what the laser would do is shoot a beam. You know how this one's 360 degrees around?
Yeah.
This one's 360 degrees that way. This one's 360 degrees that way. They all intersect at 90-degree angles. Okay? So what we would do is set this laser here and use this beam and this beam. We're going to line this beam up at this point and that point. This one, so once we have that aligned, this one will be 90 degrees to it. And we'll mark here and here.
Yeah.
Run our string, that's our 90-degree corner. 3, 4, 5, you remember geometry? Yes, you do. So yes, you do.
Oh, like a triangle?
Yeah, so you do, right. So you got 3 of an increment this way, 4 of an increment this way is 5 along the hypotenuse. So if you have 6, 8, 10, whatever, you can go any increment you want of those same multiples. So across this distance we might go, 6, probably 8, 10 is enough for us to line up this string to that one. So it's a little more difficult because you have to do a little bit of back and forth, because every time you swing this one out, you've changed your center point, because our fulcrum is back here. You've changed your center point. So there's a lot more of measuring. But let's go ahead and do it. Because that is
what we can do.
What we can do, because the battery's dead.
Okay.
Is we're eyeballing it first to come across that corner point. But as you swing your end around here, because it's back here, you've come off your corner point. So it takes a lot more of shifting each end if you're trying to line up over that. Our corner point is not very specific. Whether we're here or we end up here isn't a big deal.
Yeah.
So we'll just go about it more quickly than if we were trying to be precise on this corner. In some situations, you do have to be precise.
When would you have to be precise? Like
so when you're building a house, that might be at a certain setback, or there's other points already laid out that you're. A setback is, by regulation on a property, sometimes you can't build closer to
10 feet from the property line.
Oh.
Or you might have to be set back from, a setback is just how far you have to be back from something. At that point, that point matters more. Also, if we're laying out here for the house, or say this is the garage and the house points are already done, this point relative to the rest of the house is very important. But we're squaring up here, not referencing the house, we're squaring up a new structure. But the point is very important. So sometimes in building, this point is very specific. In this situation, it's not. So what we're going to do is eyeball a 90-degree line here, and then we're going to use our math, our geometry, to square it up.
Like such?
Do that little
trick. You holding it tight? Hold it tight.
We're going to start with an easy 3, 4, 5. Instead of using a larger measurement to get it close to the bigger measurements of like a 6, 8, 10. The bigger you get, the more accurate it's going to be. So what I'm doing here is just putting a little string that can be slid up and down. So we're going to put off the center, slide this to 4, off the center here, go to 3. You're going to swing that around till we have 5. As she swings it, what would be our 4 foot mark is going to change because this is changing. So that's why it's a little bit of back and forth, because our fulcrum is back there. We're not working off a center point. There's 4. Alright, so just to see how close we are, I got roughly, we're actually really close. You can see here, we went 60 and got 59 3/4. So go ahead and you're gonna go out just a hair. And then I gotta go, every time you move out, I gotta go back and change your lines. There's 4. This should not have changed. 3. Back to our diagonal. Got a little more. That's on, that's it right there. So now we've got it really close with a 3, 4, 5. We're gonna go up 1, and we could go, like I said, we could keep going up in scale, but I'm just gonna go to 8, 6, and then 10. And that's for what we're laying out here, we're good. We're also gonna be coming back with the laser and setting that corner, and we'll double check the accuracy of this corner based upon the laser and see how well we did. Yeah. And you're gonna hold this side of the tape right here, this corner, on that knot. And I'm gonna measure to this side of the tape measure. So instead of you holding it here and me measuring to here, the other side, it's not as accurate.
Yeah.
So that's only the key thing here when you're measuring the diagonal. You're holding point at both sides of the tape from where you're holding it to where you're measuring it. So you're going to hold me gently on there because you don't want to push the string out. Come back, we'll check here.
Yeah.
6.
Yeah.
10.
Beautiful.
That's it. The inside? Okay. What you got? 20? Oh, good. All right. Yeah, so now what we're going to do is pull our measurement. We got to go back to the plans and see what that measurement is. We're going to pull off this string, go that direction, mark those batter boards so we can pull that string across there.
Mark which?
So we can measure from the string here, staying in line, and mark that batter board.
This one on the side.
Pull from that string, mark that batter board. And then that gives us that line, which is parallel to this line.
Got it.
And we'll do the same thing going this way.
So front to back is 31.5 and 5/8.
That's
From this
okay.
front, yeah, length.
Okay, let's do it.
Okay.
Get your pencil?
Wow, that's so. Can you lift that up over that board? Since it's.
Yeah, go on the other side of the stake. There you go. All right, thank you guys.
It's all good, man. This is so. 30. Really? 35.5. 31, sorry.
Man, you really just had me freak out. It's like
Well, I still hope we're good
31,
enough. 31.5.
not 35.
So-
Oh, okay.
You hold it tight. That's still,
Oh, for real?
yeah. Well, here, wait, 30, but look, 31,
Yeah, that's not
5, and 5/8.
cool. Yeah, I don't like
There.
that.
Yeah.
These batter boards need to move this way. But before we move that, let's just double check things and make sure we got this right. And I want to look at the plans. Here's what we're going to do. Okay. You can see here how we were almost a foot by squaring up in front of where we have that stake.
Yeah.
We're going to move this whole line 12 inches this way, which is going to push us back down on the batter board. Look down here.
I understand.
Okay. We're moving this line 12 inches in, which puts us back on the batter boards there and where our layout was. So no real mistake. We just have this out too far. The reason I like the laser is you set the laser up, especially if you have a designated corner point, and you set the laser up at that point, and if you use, say, a tripod, you can set it up. You get that cross beam right on your corner point, and then you go from there. Any adjustments come off that corner point. So everything pivots here. All right, so the laser is set up here that when we turn it on, these lines cross, it's going to create a line, 2 lines here. Oh. So we're going to line those up over that.
Oh, that's actually better.
Okay, good, right there.
Cool.
Nice.
Now look where we're at in there. Are we on our mark?
Yeah.
Okay, so we want to be, I can see we're right on the mark here, cool. So we're good. Right on.
Sweet.
So if we were using this first, without using our strings, we would set the laser up
and then pull the string
above our point.
Yeah.
Turn it and see where we're hitting on the lines. Use the detector, mark. Yeah. Use the detector, mark. Done. A lot quicker. But what I love seeing is that the way we did it was just as accurate and still works. Same thing with using the water level versus the laser. Just as accurate, just a little more work. Okay, so we did good. Question for you guys. Do you have anything you aren't clear on about what we did today?
No.
You're good?
I'm good.
How you at, Chloe? Good? Okay. Yeah. So you asked about the accuracy over here. Depending upon what you're doing and laying out in a big area, an 1/8 inch to a 1/4 inch is acceptable at certain points of the project. And where we're at, that's acceptable. We are going to, and part of this is because we have the ease of pulling out the laser and double checking where we're at all the time. Okay, so we're good, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
But I do think we should let everyone know what the tools are that we used today.
We did use multiple things that are key, and some of them, yeah, we'll talk about that. Yeah. Okay, yeah. Works.
It's questionable. Stuck on a tree. Ooh. A little baby tree. And that is it. 8 feet.
No, we're gonna do 8 all the way across, and then we'll move on to the next measurement. Paint on my shoes.
All right, here's a quick rundown of the tools we used today, and at least the kind of the key ones. The metal stakes are really nice to use. I picked these up at Lowe's or Home Depot. They come in different lengths. I know they have an 18, 24, 36, and they are pre-drilled with holes in them, so you can run a screw through them. We use a 50-foot tape measure just because our regular tape measures are 25-foot, not long enough to pull some of these longer distances. We used a water level. That isn't, obviously having the laser level, not something I use anymore, but there are some times where this would actually be quicker or easier to use than the laser because the laser relies on line of sight. I really wanted to show how to use it because it's a $50 tool where the laser level could be anywhere from $300 to $600. And if you're not going to use something like the laser level throughout a lot of projects, it may not be worth it. In my opinion, if you were building something like this, a house, like what we're doing here at the Victory Home, a laser level will pay for itself by the end. And we'll use it throughout this job, and you'll see it many times. Other than that, we are just using our standard tools, tape measure, a square, and a few other things. But for today, laying out the foundation, this is what we used, and that's it.